This past episode of Monday Night Raw, Bronson Reed absolutely annihilated Jey Uso. So basically, the match ended in disqualification. Jey Uso was attempting to jump out of the ring, and then Bronson Reed threw a chair at him. Then he gets into the ring, and he basically tsunami splashes Jey Uso 2 times in a row. And this was a squash match, right? Now, the reason why this happened is because Triple H is forcing Jey Uso to go back to being a mid-card jobber, right? But the problem with that is the fans, they look at Jey Uso as main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso was the biggest. He's arguably the most over star on the WWE roster right now, right? Like, I think he's the most popular wrestler on the main roster right now, in my opinion. At this very moment, right? Obviously, Roman Reigns probably has more fans. Some people may think Seth Rollins has more fans, but I'm talking about who does the crowd get the most hype for when the star comes out, and it's hands down Jey Uso. He gets the biggest pop from the crowd out of all the stars on the main roster. He gets a bigger pop than Cody Rhodes. At this point, he's getting a bigger pop than Roman. Let's just call it what it is, right? Jey Uso is main event Jey Uso, right? But when you look at the way that he lost his title to Gunther, the same thing that happened on Raw this week, that's the same thing that happened before Jey Uso's rematch with Gunther. Bronson Reed tsunami splashed him like 3 times in a row. Braun Breaker speared him, which pretty much caused him to have a midsection injury. And that played a huge role into Gunther beating Jey Uso in the rematch for the World Heavyweight title. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, Bronson Reed is a jobber, right? Just a couple months ago, Bronson Reed was working with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu when he was a part of the New Bloodline. The guy broke both of his ankles. He comes back. Now all of a sudden he's in this group with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, right? Just makes absolutely no sense, right? So why would you have a jobber like Bronson Reed? Why would you have him annihilate Jey Uso the way that you did this past episode on Monday Night Raw? Because it already happened. You pretty much just repeated the same thing that you did before the Gunther rematch, right? And this is why I tell you guys, Triple H is a terrible booker. The guy is not creative. He's predictable. He books the same matches week after week after week. You know what I'm saying? There's no creativity that goes into this matchmaking, right? Now, what you should have done, right? What you should have done, because in the main event, you saw LA Knight basically come out and attack Seth Rollins. So when Bronson Reed tsunami splashed Jey Uso, why didn't anybody come out to help him? Why didn't Cody Rhodes come out to help Jey Uso? Why didn't LA Knight come out to help Jey Uso? Why didn't Penta come out to help Jey Uso? Because all of these guys that I just named, they have a problem with the leader of this group, which is Seth freaking Rollins, right? So you should have had somebody. You could have even had CM Punk come out and help Jey Uso. But nah, you just have an absolute squash match where Bronson Reed's 400-pound fat ass, fake ass Samoan nigga, right? Like, I think Bronson Reed is actually Australian, but when he was when he was a part of the New Bloodline, he was basically pretending to be a fake ass Samoan, right? So you have his 400-pound fat ass. This guy's a jobber. I don't even know how Bronson Reed is still in the WWE, because guys that I think is a better wrestler than him, guys like Braun Strowman, who is a beast, this guy got released from the WWE this year. But you still got Bronson Reed on the roster. Make that make sense. You have the biggest star in the company that gets the biggest pop from the crowd. Jey Uso probably has the #1 merch sales in the WWE. You have this guy get absolutely squashed by Bronson Reed. You know, I think it would make more sense to have Braun Breaker do this to Jey Uso, because at least Braun Breaker is a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, right? Or if Seth Rollins did this, we already know Seth Rollins is a multiple-time champion. But out of all people, you have Bronson Reed, who barely has any fans. Nobody cares for him. The guy's he's just fat, right? Let's be honest. The only reason Bronson Reed dominates people in the ring is because he's fat. It's not because he's athletic. It's not because he has any muscles. It's not because he has any talent. He's just a fat fuck that's just big, bruh. The motherfucker, You know what I'm saying? He does that tsunami splash and you got 400 pounds landing on top of you. No diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude is just obese. Let's just call it what it is. He looks like a fucking sumo wrestler. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why he does what he does in the ring, man. And I'm not trying to absolutely just shit on Bronson Reed, because I have seen Bronson Reed in some good matches. I think that his matches with Seth Rollins last year was pretty good. But I'm just saying, you don't have a guy like Bronson Reed who hasn't really accomplished anything on the main roster. You don't have a guy like that completely squash the most popular wrestler on the main roster, main event Jey Uso. Do you guys think Triple H would have done this to Cody Rhodes? Fuck no. You guys honestly think Triple H would have booked Bronson Reed to just absolutely squash Cody Rhodes the way he just did Jey Uso? Absolutely not. You guys think this would have happened to Seth Rollins? Fuck no. You guys think this would have happened to Roman Reigns? Fuck no. You know, Triple H picks and chooses who he decides to fuck with. He has his guys that he likes, and he has his guys that he doesn't like. And for some strange reason, Jey Uso was a guy that he just doesn't believe in. You understand what I'm saying? That's why when he had the World Heavyweight Championship, when he won it at WrestleMania from Gunther, he only held the title for 61 days. You know? You look at the way that he lost the title, he didn't have a long title reign, didn't even have it for 3 months, right? And then he just made Gunther tap at WrestleMania, and you don't have Jey Uso tap out against Gunther. You just have the guy just completely pass out, which makes him look weak. You know? Then you put him in a King of the Ring qualifier with Cody Rhodes, you have him lose that. After Cody Rhodes lost his title to John Cena at WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes was gone for months. Jey Uso was active the whole time. Cody Rhodes just come back out of nowhere. Oh, King of the Ring. Oh, you get a title shot at SummerSlam. Makes and this is my biggest problem with Triple H, y'all. Nothing makes any sense. Everything is just all over the place, bro. The storylines don't add up. The booking is just repetitive. Things just don't make sense. When is Jey Uso going to get his rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship? When is Roman Reigns going to get his rematch for the Undisputed Championship that John Cena has right now? Roman Reigns never got a rematch against Cody Rhodes. But Cody Rhodes, within a matter of what, 3 or 4 months, he already has a rematch for the title that he lost against John Cena. And let's be honest, guys. Cody Rhodes is going to win this title back from John Cena at SummerSlam. It only makes sense. Think about it, right? John Cena defended the title against Randy Orton. He won. John Cena defended the title against CM Punk. He won. John Cena is not going to win this match against Cody Rhodes, because think about it. If John Cena retains at SummerSlam, then who eventually is going to take that title from John Cena? Because my prediction is, I think that this Saturday at Saturday Night Main Event, I think that Goldberg is going to beat Gunther and win the World Heavyweight Championship. And then I think Seth Rollins is going to come out and cash the Money in the Bank. And I think Seth Rollins is going to take that World Heavyweight title from Goldberg. Because remember, this is Goldberg's retirement match. He's going to have one more match and it's over. It's over. Goldberg's not going to win that title and hold it for He's just going to have one match. He's going to win it. Seth Rollins is going to cash in. And then that's it. So, you know, we know Seth Rollins is probably not going after that Undisputed Champion. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Cody Rhodes is going to win this rematch with John Cena. I can promise you that. You know? And I think that he's going to get help. I don't think he's going to do it on his own. I think that he's going to get help. Probably from CM Punk and Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, my main point of this video, guys, is Jey Uso deserves better. You know, this guy, he's the biggest star right now, man, and he's not being treated like that. He's absolutely being railroaded by Triple H. It's like Triple H is going out of his way to try to convince the fans that Jey Uso isn't a main Carter. Jey Uso isn't this big superstar that the fans think he is. You know, because remember, I keep telling you guys, Triple H doesn't care about what the fans want. Triple H cares about what he wants. Everything that you see as far as the matches that we get, who has the title, who doesn't have the title, you know, he's not trying to please the fans. He's trying to please himself. And listen, I think when Triple H decided to have Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble, at that point in time, I think that Triple H believed that Jey Uso was a superstar. I do, right? But after Jey Uso won the title, right, we noticed that Jey Uso was botching moves in the ring. He was botching his promo. Like, for example, he had a promo with Gunther leading up to the rematch where he just completely forgot his line. And I think that because of that, I think that Triple H wasn't satisfied with how Jey Uso was carrying that World Heavyweight Championship. And he decided to take it away from him because he didn't believe in him no more. But the problem with that is, bro, is you got to understand that this was the first major title that Jey Uso has won, right? The guy's like 40 years old. He just won his first major world title. He should have gave Jey Uso time to really grow into being the World Heavyweight Champion, bro. You know, it's going to be rough at the start, but you got to give him time to get comfortable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jey Uso should have at least had the title for at least 6 months to a year. Look at Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes first got that title from Roman Reigns, bro, he was terrible. His promos on the mic, terrible, right? His in-ring matches, they were okay. I'm not going to say they were terrible. They were okay. But Cody Rhodes, he was rough as champion when he first got that title from Roman Reigns. And then as time went on, he got better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? Cody Rhodes is way better on the mic now and way better wrestling in the ring now than he was when he first got the title from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Let's be honest. You know, the guy has a lisp. You know what I'm saying? He says a lot of corny shit. Let's just call it what it is, man. But he had time to grow into being the champion, bro. And Triple H didn't give Jey Uso any time to grow into being the champion. So we already know the play. What's going to happen is eventually Jey Uso, and this is what Triple H wants. Jey Uso is pretty much going to be forced to go back to being a tag team champion with his twin brother, Jimmy Uso. That's the play. And that's why, guys, pretty much for the rest of the year, anytime that you see Jey Uso in a match with somebody that's either like a main eventer or a mid-carder, a guy like Bronson Reed, he's going to lose. Because he wants the fans to not look at Jey Uso as a main event or what I'm trying to say is he doesn't want the fans to look at Jey Uso the same way that they look at Seth Rollins, you know, Roman Reigns, John Cena. No, he wants people to look at Jey Uso like a loser. So you can expect that he's going to lose a lot of matches in the future. And then eventually him and his brother are going to reunite and be tag team partners. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this video. It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment. I'm out.